Hey everyone, welcome back to Ontario Gardening. So today we are canning up strawberry lemonade concentrate. So it's a very easy recipe. There's only 3 ingredients. It's just a little time consuming as you're gonna have to juice some lemons, but I just wanna make clear that this is just the concentrate. So we're canning up similar to if you went to the store and bought like a can of concentrated juice in the frozen section, and then you come home, you add this to a pitcher and then add like, 5 or 6 cans of water to the juice, and you make a jug of juice. This is basically what this is. So when you do take these out of the can and make your juice, just to let you know, it is 1 part of the concentrate that we make to 3 parts of water. So whether you're making them in pint jars, half pint jars, whatever works for your family. If you have a pint, and that's what we're going to do today because that's what this recipe calls for. So if I take a pint of my concentrate and I pour it into my pitcher, now I'm going to fill up 3 of these to make the whole juice jug. So it's 1 to 3. So getting that out of the way, for this recipe, it makes 7 pints, and you are going to need 6 cups of hulled strawberries. You don't have to cut them. I just was already doing strawberry jam, so they were already cut. So it's 6 cups of washed and hulled strawberries. You are going to need 4 cups of freshly squeezed lemon juice, and then 6 cups of white sugar. So the lemon juice is supposed to be freshly squeezed. And the reason for this is so it's not already full of added chemicals and sugars that you would get at the store. It's as clean and fresh tasting as possible. I do have a trick for juicing your own lemons by hand if you don't have a lemon juicer. So you're going to want to take the lemon and you're going to want to roll it out on the counter. And the reason we're doing this is because it is loosening up all of the juices and separating kind of that inside from the outside skin. So roll it a bunch of times, and then when you cut it, instead of cutting it like normal people would this way, actually cut it this way. So you're maximizing the surface area that you're able to squeeze that juice out. And the other thing I can tell you is when you have your lemon half, when you're over the bowl, massage it with your fingers. And when you're massaging all of that juice out, you can get an extra like teaspoon to almost tablespoon per half, and that really adds up when you're juicing stuff. So you're going to want to make sure, I haven't done it yet, you're going to want to make sure that all of your seeds and pulp are out of there as much as you can. So go ahead and do that. And once you have, we're pretty much ready to start. So the first step is taking these 6 cups of strawberries. You're going to put them into a food processor or a blender, Magic Bullet, whatever you have, and you're going to puree them up until they're completely smooth. So I'm not going to do that on camera because it's very loud, but let's get her done. Okay, so I have my completely pureed strawberries, and you want to make sure that those are nice and pureed and smooth because remember, this is going to become a juice. We're going to take a soup pot, stock pot, whatever you have on hand, and we are pouring that puree right into it. No heat on the stove yet, just pouring the puree into it. Oh. And then we are going to add the lemon juice, the 4 cups, right in with that strawberry puree. And now we have that 6 cups of sugar, and we're going to go ahead and throw that in there as well. Now we're going to stir it around and make sure it's all incorporated. And once it's all incorporated together, it's at this point we're going to want to turn our stove up onto a medium heat. Now we don't want to bring it really high because we don't actually want to get this to a boil. We just want to get it warm enough where the sugar is going to dissolve into this strawberry lemonade mixture. So my suggestion is to keep on stirring. Stir, stir, stir. Get it well incorporated. Don't let anything burn to the bottom. And of course, while I have this going, I have my canner, my water bath canner, and my lid's going. My jars have been sterilized. Everything's good. And just for reference, I'm doing these in pint jars as the recipe calls for. I did think about doing them in half pints, so jam jars, because I do have a smaller family and juice is not like a huge thing for us. If we're being honest, we're probably using it for like daiquiris and stuff like that. But I just decided to go with the recipe. So we're gonna just stir, stir, stir. And like I said, we're gonna do this for probably a couple minutes until all of that sugar is dissolved. So when you pick up the spoon, you're not feeling that grit. You're not seeing anything in here. It's gonna be nice and smooth. So yeah, I'm gonna say probably between 2 to 5 minutes. Just make sure you're never seeing any bubbles because like I said, you don't want this to come to a boil. Okay, so it's been on here for a few minutes. Now I wanna just say like the best thing you can do is to take a thermometer and see what temperature it is, because you're looking around 190 to 200 degrees, in and around that mark. You want to make sure that it's warm enough, so we're good here, that it's warm enough that when you ladle them into the jars and then throw them into the hot canner, that they're semi the same in temperature so that we are not having exploding jars. So if you have a lot of foam at the top, you can go ahead and skim it. Mine's not too bad, so I'm just gonna leave it. But now we are going to ladle into our sterilized jars. And for those of you who can, I'm sure you already know how to do this, but we are leaving a 1/4 inch headspace on these jars. So I'm gonna go ahead and fill them off camera just to make things quicker for you guys. So like every other canning recipe, we are going to wipe our rims with a damp cloth to get any debris off of the rims, and we are going to add our lids. Once we've got our lids on, we're going to put on our bands, and you're only going to want them fingertip tight, not over tightened, otherwise your lids risk siphoning inside of that water bath canner. So now I'm just going to drop these down into my canner, and I am going to process these in there for 15 minutes. All right, we'll see you back in 15 minutes. And here is your strawberry lemonade concentrate. And in reality, it's not really going to change color. It's not really cooking. So anyways, that's it. We will talk to you soon.